Hi, this is going to be my 2016 Independence Day Action Rifle Match video. I actually founded the Independence Day Action Rifle Match back in 2006. I ran it for several years, then passed it off to various groups to run. It rotated through Rio Salado Sportsman's Club, Phoenix Rod and Gun Club, Tucson's Two Gun Action Challenge Match Group, back to Rio Salado's Multi-Gun Division, and this year it was hosted by the Cowtown Range and Independence Training. They did a really excellent job of running the match. Over the years, I participated in various capacities in helping with acquiring sponsors, or in this case, KE Arms was the major match sponsor for the event, and we provided some machine guns and prizes for the event. I'm going to take you through the gear I used for the match, and then you're going to see the stages and the order in which I shot them. I have to be honest, I was originally not thinking I'd be able to even compete in the match this year because I got sick right before the match kicked off. And dealing with that in the 112-degree heat was a bit much. Fortunately, I was able to reschedule from shooting with the match staff the day before to shooting the morning of the event and still be able to help facilitate the machine gun usage on stage 3 that you'll see in the video. It's a quick overview of the rifle I used at the Independence Day Action Rifle Match 2016. It's a KE-15 with the billet flared magwell competition receiver, NP3 coated DMR trigger, ambidextrous selector, big button magazine catch, ambidextrous magazine catch on the other side since I'm a lefty, 15-inch M-LOK handguard, 17.7-inch Ballistic Advantage Hansen barrel with Griffin armament muzzle device, quick detach bipod I left on for the entire match. The scope is the Vortex Razor HD 1:6 with the MRAD reticle. I use the MRAD versus the JM reticle because the JM reticle doesn't really correspond to the ballistics out of the 17.7-inch Hansen barrel. Also using a Mission First Tactical buttstock, X-Tech grip, and Young Manufacturing SLC lightweight bolt carrier group. The ammunition I used was Fiocchi 223A 55 grain full metal jacket boat tail. Very accurate for production ammunition. From the bench at the range, sandbagged and all that, I was consistently getting around 1 MOA groups. Of course, shooting from practical conditions at the match, making the hits is more of a challenge than the mechanical accuracy of the gun, but having that good mechanical accuracy between the 17.7 Hansen Ballistic Advantage barrel and the quality ammunition definitely helped. I competed in Trooper Division, which for one-day match rules, like the Independence Day match, requires that you carry all your ammunition and any equipment you will use for the entire match on your person on every stage. Given those rule requirements, as opposed to a multi-day 3-gun match where you carry a pack and ground it when you get to the stage, it's important to optimize your gear for efficiency getting through each course. So I use the Whiskey 24 heavy rig. It's set up like an assault style vest, split down the center with Fastex buckles, internal air mesh which helps keep you cool out in the heat, 2 30-round mags on my right hand side, a coupled 30-round mag and a 40-round mag on the left hand side. There were some stages that required loading on the clock, in which case I loaded out of the open-topped Kydex style pouches. Stages where I started with the gun loaded, I either used the 40-round magazine or the coupled 30s. This vest does have an internal hydration carrier by Source. It's pretty cool, and it has a removable attachment for the tube so you can refill it with water bottles while you're wearing it. It is a 3-liter bladder. I did drink significantly more water than that on the range, so being able to refill it on the range conveniently without taking the vest off or having to pull the bladder out is very handy. The only thing you are allowed to resupply in Trooper Division is water. Otherwise, spare parts, cleaning equipment, and so on do need to be carried on your person. I also wore the Arc'teryx kneecaps, which I find to be very helpful going over and under obstacles, so you don't have to worry about injuring yourself during the course of a stage. Stage 3 started off with a KE Arms machine gun on a IDPA style paper target at 10 yards. Every hit inside the 0 zone counted as 5 seconds off the shooter's time. My personal run, I got 6 hits inside the 0 zone, shooting on full auto. Then the shooter had to flip a tire 5 times, which you can imagine was very challenging for people in the heat. And there was then a double spinner at about 45 yards that you could either shoot kneeling or prone, whichever made the most sense for your equipment. Rotating the spinner for me from the prone with the Fiocchi ammunition proved to not be really any kind of challenge. After the bonuses, my net time on this stage was around 5 seconds.
One, 50 degrees. 2, 50 degrees. 3, 50 degrees. 4, go!
Stage 2 had 4 IPSC steel at about 100 yards that had to be engaged from a number of positions. Moving to those positions required moving underneath the tables that were interspersed on the range. I personally felt that rolling underneath the tables was easiest for me rather than kneeling or crawling underneath of them. People used a number of techniques to get through this stage. There was a 120-second par time, which proved to be a little too much for some shooters, even on one pass through. I later found out that I had to reshoot this stage because we were supposed to go all the way across the range, then back. But here's my first run through, just in the sake of showing the complete match experience.
Cone!
Oh shit.
Cone! Hit. Road 6308.
The next stage I shot was stage 5. It was shot from a rooftop prop. The challenge with this stage, however, was the 120-second par time combined with the fact that all your ammunition started loose in a bucket. One of the things I did to make this process of loading from the bucket easier for me was I filled the bucket up with 60 rounds, even though I only intended to load about 20. In the end, I loaded 22 rounds before moving to the rooftop prop. The reason I thought putting more loose rounds in the bucket would be easier was I saw other competitors chasing around the exact number of rounds they wanted to load, so there was no limit on the number of rounds placed in the bucket, and that's what I went with. Moving to the rooftop, getting set up in position was the challenge. There were 2 plate racks with 6-inch plates at about 100 yards, and again, with the 120-second par time, a lot of people timed out on this stage. Fortunately, I was able to finish the stage in about 68 seconds, and getting in position was the hard part, but once I was in position, hitting the steel wasn't much of a challenge.
Any resupply needs to be done back here. There's a 120 par time. Hit. Get down on the left. Low. Hit. Oh, cleaned it. All right. 6-8-9-2. Unload show clear.
Stage 4 was on top of one of the shooting platforms up a hill. It began with the shooter seated and having to drag a kettlebell towards them with a rope. This was a bit more challenging than some of the other events where we've had to drag a kettlebell from the standing position. After the kettlebell reached the end point, the shooter then moved to the shooting platform and engaged the rifle steel from 100 to 400 yards with 3 hits each.
Good. Red rifle. Upstairs. Three. Next one. Two. 3. You can call your own hits. See ya.
I think I got it.
All right.
Stage 5 was at the opposite end of the range, so in Trooper Division I did have to hike all that way on foot. Once I got there, I took a bit of a break, refilled on water, cooled off, and waited for the squad that was there to finish before shooting at the end of their group. This stage had some physical obstacles. If you knocked over the sticks, you'll see in the video, it would have been a plus 20-second penalty. There were also penalties for stepping on the clays in the minefield. From the shooting position, there were 5 rifle targets from about 100 to 230 yards. Each target required 2 hits to be neutralized.
Those clays, right?
Hit. 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 You're good.
On the way back down the hill to Stage 3, I stopped and talked to the match staff and found out that I needed to reshoot Stage 2 because we had improperly read the stage description and only done 1 pass through the tables. To reshoot it properly, I had to do 2 passes through, and after being on the range, being sick, and starting to be dehydrated, this was more challenging. The 122nd par time still stood, and I very fortunately finished in 116 seconds. I did see a number of experienced competitors time out on the stage, not being able to get all the hits and through every obstacle. So again, I'm glad I was able to make it through, but at that point I was done and I was glad the match was over.
Hit. 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 Hit.
To the cone.
Hit. 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 58. Hit. 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 98, 93. Hit. 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 Hit.
116.52. Unload, show clear.
Given my physical condition before the match even started, I really went into this with no expectations. But I have found over the years that sometimes the matches that you have no expectations for your placement are the ones you do the best at. And I was very fortunate to win first place at this year's Independence Day Action Rifle match, Trooper Division. Congrats to all the competitors that finished the match in the 112-degree heat, and the other division winners. I think the match was an overall success this year, and I'll definitely be back supporting it again next year.